Hey everyone, it's Jason and this is your cruise news update, and we have a passenger being blasted for calling guest services on a smoker. Do you think inflatable kiddie pools should be allowed on your cruise? And this last one is concerning. Is Royal Caribbean doing away with repricing your cruise when the price drops? So cruise story number one, do you get a balcony on your cruise? And does it drive you nuts when you can smell cigarette smoke when you're sitting out there trying to enjoy the beautiful balcony and the ocean? So a person posted this picture right here, and this was on a private Facebook group. And they said they were just surprised that someone would do this right out in the open during the middle of the day. So they had their phone on them. They took a picture of it because they wanted to know where they were at, because they called guest services and let them know that someone was smoking. And it was handled immediately. Now, if you look at this picture right here, look at how many clothes are on all the balconies. All it would take is a cigarette butt. Get on one of those clothes, start a fire. It could be a major incident. Now, this was on the Symphony of the Seas, and this was in the Central Park area. So that's the way they were able to see across. Would you call guest services on them? Now, the interesting thing is the reaction to this. Many people calling this poster that she was a Karen or that she was a snitch. I'm so sorry. Have you seen the Star Princess fire that killed someone? And the whole side of the ship, right here, you can see it, basically burnt. Now, by all reports, many people said the crew members 100% saved people's lives. They really stepped up. And if you know anything about crew members, they train extensively on firefighting. I know myself, I had a 100-ton master captain's license, and as I wanted to continue to grow, you had to learn certain things, and I just wasn't willing to learn that. And there was a lot of firefighting in it. Also, I've been on a boat. I was the captain of it, and it caught fire. One of the scariest things that I've ever dealt with. I'll never forget that to this day. We were fine. The boat was fine. We handled it. But it still was a scary event. So this isn't being a Karen. This isn't being a snitch. This is something that you need to call in. And I think the better question is, if you saw a little 2-year-old crawling around out on the balcony, would you call guest services? Or, hey, no, I'm going to mind my own business. How do you feel about it? Would you call in? Or would you just say, c'est la vie? Let me know in the comments. So cruise story number 2, and this post has gone viral, with many people having strong reactions one way or the other. Many people saying no way, and others saying I have no problem with it. So a person posted this picture right here asking could they bring this inflatable kiddie pool for their infant child on Royal Caribbean. They said we brought it on NCL and it was never an issue. Many people said absolutely not, while others posted this picture right here and said I do it, don't see any issue with it at all. Now what's interesting is John Heald, the brand ambassador for Carnival Cruise Line, actually commented on this about 3 months ago. And he said they are not allowed on our cruise ships. If you take a look at their prohibited list, it says inflatable kiddie pools are not allowed. And his reasoning was, look, maybe 1 or 2 of them would be fine, but imagine we have 50 to 100 kids. And they're all over the pool decks. They're all over balconies. They're filled with a little bit of water, and then a big wind comes up. And kids aren't in it, but you still have that water in it, and it starts blowing all that contaminated water all over the pool decks. Or they start blowing overboard. He says it just is not a good situation. So they are banned, and they will take them from you. Now, on Royal Caribbean, NCL, they are allowed. They are not on the prohibited list. But it'll be interesting because this post, and it's been reposted many times, have thousands of reactions. And Royal Caribbean and other cruise lines do monitor these boards, so it'll be interesting to see what they have to say. What do you think? Should these be allowed on your cruise or should they not? Personally, I can see both answers to this. But if you're on Royal Caribbean, I think the biggest thing that you need to look at is if you have an infant that's not potty trained, try to book a cruise that has one of the kiddie areas where children that are not potty trained are allowed to go. I believe when I looked at it, it was 16 cruise ships currently have on Royal Caribbean one of those areas. And that might be the best for you to do. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. So before I get to cruise story number 3, I would ask that you please like this video and consider subscribing, as it does help the channel grow. If you could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. So cruise story number 3, and one of the best money-saving tips that I can give to people is make sure to book your cruise out as far as possible and watch your cruise price. And if there's any price drops, you can call your travel agent or you can call the cruise line, and usually it's no questions asked and you get a price drop. Well, unfortunately, this might be changing. So especially with Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. Obviously, they're the same company, Royal Caribbean Group, and many people are reporting on boards, Facebook, Reddit, other places that they're having a little bit of a hard time getting price drops. They're saying that you booked during a certain sale, and under the terms and conditions of that sale, we can't give you the price drop. Now, I had not experienced this directly myself, but if you know anything, most of these sales that Celebrity and Royal Caribbean run feel like the same sale, just repackaged every week. They really don't feel anything different. So I am a travel agent. I do it for myself, my own sailings. I like to control them. I like to know when my final payments are. I just go in, I pay for them, and I do some deals for my friends and family. So I had myself and someone else were booked on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and I made a phone call to Royal Caribbean because the prices had dropped. And I booked this cruise 3 days before. And I said, hey, look, it's dropped $250. Now, there was no shipboard credit involved in this. And that is one thing that I will say, is sometimes you can lose shipboard credit. That is well known. You can lose that shipboard credit if you get a price drop, because it's under basically a different sale. And that's understandable. And I said, hey, it's $250 cheaper for each of our cabins. Can you bring that price down? Also, is this accurate? If I moved up to a junior suite, or they did, it would be, this certain price that's the published price. So the agent that I'm talking to goes, yeah, no, it's only going to be about $60 savings because you booked under a certain sale. And unfortunately, the terms and conditions don't allow me to give you all this money. So it's more expensive than the published price. I said, well, let me think about that. Did a little research, called back again. A total of 57 minutes I'm on the phone. Second supervisor I finally got said, hey, I can work this out for you. And I said, could you please tell me about the junior suite? Because the junior suite that I possibly would like to move up to, I'm being told is $800 more than the published price. No, that's not accurate. I'll take care of that for you. I said, is this the policy for Royal Caribbean now? He goes, that is the direction we are going in. Now, I don't know if he was necessarily telling me the truth, but he said, you got to really look at those terms and conditions because many times they do not allow us to give price drops. And my mind went, why are they doing this? Why do you think this is happening? Do you think maybe the cruise line, Royal Caribbean Group, sees maybe a slowing down in the market? And they obviously don't want to be given a bunch of money back. So they have certain terms and conditions where they're not going to have to. I don't know, that's where my mind went. What do you guys think? Have you experienced this? Because I have to say it's a little concerning. I hope this isn't accurate. I hope it gets cleared up and it's something that was just a little blip in the radar. So I do appreciate you guys watching. I wanted to thank you. This finally came in. 100,000 subscribers. It is a very cool thing. I never thought 2 years ago that I would ever be able to do that so soon, and it's because of you guys. So I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the continued support, and until I talk to you soon, happy cruising.